Okay, day 199. Lots of technical challenges this morning. Andrew McCabe, modus operandi, undermine your superior while smiling in their face. He did that to the number 2 guy. He had some outside guys come in and hack him. He went from number 3 to number 2. Now he's raided James Comey's office while he wasn't there. He convinced Steve Feinberg that Comey had an informal network. Well, it's true. There is a Comey network, and it's not going to be stopped by raiding James Comey's office while he's not there. There's a huge group of retired FBI as well as field FBI and even people within the counterintelligence group of the FBI that are now leaking information. Julian Assange says it's going to be a Niagara. It is going to be a Niagara because he is cut away and now he is exposed. He doesn't have James Comey to run interference for him anymore. You can look at the True Pundit article today that repeat all that stuff. What I'd like to focus in on is how Hillary, when she was, running in the West Wing of the White House for Bill Clinton, she was supposed to get through 2 things: the Patriot Act, and then also a single payer, so that we could buy opioids from the old, Mina airport rat line, counterfeit opioid. She failed in both of those with national health care and so forth. But she did have some success with this BlackBerry, what I call the BlackBerry backbone of this BlackBerry network that she put in for our, while she was senator on the Armed Services Committee. And this is her kind of bonding with McCain and Lindsey Graham. DynCorp, the Pug-Winokur DynCorp, the old Enron DynCorp, had the backbone of the 30 agencies of our U.S. government, as far as DOD agencies, as well as the intelligence community agencies, as well as even agencies like IRS and so forth, and DHS. What Hillary was able to do was, through BlackBerry, put in this wireless backbone network. And just like the DynCorp wire backbone, the wireless backbone is also compartmentalized. So I can have Army over here, Navy over here, Air Force over here, DOD over here, CIA over here, FBI over here, etc. Compartmentalized. Within the compartments, I can have it. So, for instance, if I can have a general that's guarding just the rat line area, just the rat line area of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And that general is just going to be able to talk to the people in that brigade. So it's very good for rat lines. So you're going to find this compartmentalized information all along those rat lines, as well as there's this ability to monitor the whole network. So in the same way in the old Pug-Winokur, Enron DynCorp was able to wiretap, physical wiretap, you're going to find the Awans are going to be the experts with the whole backbone at the wireless tapping. Now you're also going to find, and they're going to do it mainly through this syncing that I've been talking about, through desktop sync. For those that in the intelligence community that want to look at this stuff, if you're over at Booz Allen or something like that, you want to look at the signatures. It's called a KISS signal. The KISS comes out and says, "Hey, you belong to me. You're my BlackBerry." The BlackBerry comes back and then downloads all the email. You're going to find that's the signature as Hillary walks out of the skiff, as I said yesterday, as all these different people that they're monitoring walk out of the skiff. You're going to find a lot of chatter and traffic, a lot of email all at once, and that's going to be your download signatures. So look for that if you're in the intelligence community, if you want to release that to WikiLeaks or ODNI. I would say WikiLeaks first for, again, misprision of treason if you don't. And that's going to be the key to the thing. We're going to start looking into the BlackBerry network and really looking into these signatures, these metadata signatures, because that's going to unravel the whole thing. There's nothing McCabe can do from a political point of view in taking people out. As I mentioned, True Pundit came out with an article this morning that summarizes all the things I've said here. You're going to start seeing people in these meetings verifying this information, the F Trump, the F Flynn, the whole Trump dossier goofy thing, the whole not recusing yourself from the Trump investigation, not recusing yourself from the Hillary and Huma investigations. All that's coming out. The 19 different Gmail accounts are coming out. The Attorney General says he does not trust McCabe. The 675,000 has already been tweeted about quite a bit. The metadata is going to come out, and that's going to unwind the case. So I don't really want to spend too much time on McCabe. I do want to focus in on the BlackBerries, and I do think that there was 19 BlackBerries. I think these were the secure phones that Anthony Weiner's trusted team was distributing in Washington, D.C. I think about 15 of them were destroyed. I do think there was a cadre of 5 or 6 or 10 at the where the Marine was at the Lorton home on Hawks Head And I do think the 4 laptops were all these syncing servers, these servers that synced. So all you had to do, and I don't know what the proximity is going to be for the KISS message yet, but all you had to do was put the laptop in proximity to the BlackBerries, and then the KISS message would go out, and then the syncing would occur. I believe that most of the people that got BlackBerries from the Imran Awan and Omar Awan did not know that their BlackBerry had already been pre-set up to sync. And you're going to find that these BlackBerries are going to sit on a network, these laptops are going to sit on a network, and there's going to be the BlackBerry Enterprise server that's going to sync them all. So there's going to be NSA traffic there. I've already said there's going to be NGA type intercepts here with the electromagnetic spectrum. You're also going to have NSA intercepts. So it's this NGA information with the NSA information that's going to unwind the whole case, whether or not the 650,000 metadata emails come out. So here's Hillary again talking about the BlackBerry servers, Anthony Weiner's trusted staff in DC. It is the Awan brothers, and Hillary's phones are going to be the key. Now, I said that these phones were given out as subscription tokens. It's going to go beyond that. I had a kind of a phone or device-based view of this. It's actually going to be codes. Within the BlackBerry network, you can give out ephemeral codes, meaning like they're like those messages that go away in 7 seconds. I can't remember what that service is. But if you don't use it within 15 minutes or an hour, it goes away. That way, the ephemeral codes are great for erasing footprints in this system. And so based on the compartmentalized network, I can give you the ephemeral code for troop movements along the rat line in Pakistan, and where that general is moving, and all the communication between the general and his brigade and so forth. And then I could say, oops, not a good time to be moving the rat line. Coast is clear, now let's move it. So I think these ephemeral codes are going to be continually used to run the Pakistan rat line through ISI. So again, I think Boyce will come forward now. I think all NYPD will come forward because it's basically them versus McCabe now. There's no Comey to run interference. And this whole life insurance thing, the whole 650,000 emails, the trips to Epstein's Island. Bill Clinton obviously owns part of an airport in Punta Cana now. You're going to see that unravel with Hillary's trips to Punta Cana, with Kissinger. I'm not going to go into all the Anthony Weiner not being a goof and actually being really close to Ehud Barak. Just to say that that's coming. As I said before, when you come up with fake things, fake excuses like Anthony Weiner, Huma forwarded hundreds of thousands of emails to Anthony Weiner, it only is going to last 1 or 2 days. When you have a cockamamie kind of excuse, it's only going to last a couple days until the real story comes out, which is the sync, which is unfortunately was the undoing of Comey. He went up there with what he knew was a lie, and he told him, and it fell apart. We're going to really start focusing on Balsillie. This James Balsillie, who was the CEO and chairman, president and chairman of RIM. He's going to be your kind of your CSIS CIA input into the. What they do is they have 2 founders. They start a little network. They go out and steal. This is like they go out and steal some technology from another company. They create a messaging platform. This is what happened. If you don't believe it, you're going to see that BlackBerry paid $600 million to the company they stole the information from. You're going to find him both as president and chairman of the board, pushing pressure down on the board members, $250 million in stock fraud. So he's very tightly connected, James Balsillie, with George Soros through the Brookings Foundation. You're going to have all the self-congratulatory dinners that are so de rigueur when you're in this intelligence business and rat line business that you have to constantly pat yourself on the back. You're going to see Newland's going to be a part of it. Biden's going to be a part of it. And Obama is going to be an unwitting victim. Biden's in, Newland's in, Obama was the victim. So I know people are going to get mad when I say that, but that's where the evidence is pointing me. Again, this is going to unwind here with all these signatures and server logs. So again, these are not just a part of a file sitting somewhere that's now been destroyed. There's a disturbance in electromagnetic spectrum from the NGA information, and there's NSA backtraffic as the BlackBerry laptops synced with the enterprise server. So there's footprints in a lot of different places. If you want to query those over at Booz Allen today and just send those on to WikiLeaks, you're more than welcome. Andre Carson, things are not going to look good for you now in the next coming days. Sorry about that, brother. So I'm going to leave it there. More will come out. But again, I don't go on reporting, hearsay evidence, and so forth. I'm going right to the State Department emails to talk about, how they set up Obama with a phone that did not connect to the normal Verizon network. It connected to this special set of towers. You're going to find Lightbridge Communications was actually setting up towers in the Washington, Virginia, and D.C. area. So Obama unsuspectingly thought he was connecting to the Verizon network when he was actually connecting to this BlackBerry network, to this DoD network. And I don't think Obama ever knew. The other thing is you've got Omar Awan in the White House as the strategic planning at the White House, chief administrative officer. He's also going to be Abid Awan. Abid Awan is going to be used for all the transactions to shelter Imran. And the Jamals in this case, the reason why they created Jamal for the runners, you don't want Omar on camera somewhere, Imran on camera anywhere to do the transactions and all this other netherworld stuff. So you create a Jamal to be the runner. There's going to be many, many Jamals in this case here. For instance, if you're going to have a bag man, you're going to send some money, you're going to send some drugs, you're going to arrange a limo pickup for some girl, for some party, for elites. Jamal is going to be the guy who's the runner out to Manassas Mahmoud and tell him all the information, whisper it in his ear. Then Manassas Mahmoud down here in Woodbridge, Virginia, is going to go over to the embassy and pick up his MS-13 guys if it's some nasty stuff that he has to do, if he has to run drugs, run women, or do a murder. So sorry that's so quick today, but I just wanted to kind of do a quick flyby, and we'll drill down more on the BlackBerry part of this and the signatures and metadata a little bit more as we go through today.